and nor did I actually even believe that I would end up having my own photography company. Let alone, for future things, maybe even turning into a production company. I had no idea. But once again, it's just about using the interest that always existed within you, and then just continuing to connect those and relate those more to your purpose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, the community side, when did that start to kick in for you?
Oh, yes. When it gets interesting. So, this was actually, I've definitely I have to thank my camera. I have to thank photography for doing that one for me, because photography was pretty much like the mentor that got me into the right environments. The photography was the mentor that took me to the places that had certain issues and had certain people, bringing light to these issues. And then, I would come home and I would think, well, do I actually have a chance at changing these things? Do I have a chance at, joining forces and actually using my skills, my experiences, my intellect, and being able to actually create solutions? And, me being from Mount Airy, I always tell a lot of the people I connect with that a lot of what goes on with this community engagement and community outreach and community activities happens more towards the city, in further skirts of Philadelphia. But I hadn't always seen that kind of activity in my area or in my neighborhood. So I definitely wanted to be able to learn a lot about what's going on, learn about, who is really affording a positive change. And then I figure out a way to creatively collaborate with the people that I need to in order to create these solutions. Now, I also come with, a years of experience in event planning. I have experience, with the photography aspect of things, very creative minded, and then just also very dedicated to being a motivation to other people. And that's something that I've always carried through every job that I've ever had as well. So, the community element allowed me to step away from my full-time job at the casino. And that's when I decided that this is exactly what I want to continue doing, because there's nothing more fulfilling than when I see young people being affected by our work, young people being affected by what it is that we're doing when we come together, and then having young people a part of that experience is that's the icing on the cake. That's the strawberries on the cake. That's the next 6 cakes that come in the next 6 years. That's everything. That's everything. And
yeah.
So, definitely, like I said, I have to once again give a special shout out to Sharice Aker, is the founder of We Heard You Mentor Group, because she also booked me for my very first speaking engagement. And my very first speaking engagement sort of put a certain kind of power and confidence in me that allowed me to drive myself into a number of other engagements that have connected me to, family-like individuals now. So definitely have to thank her, have to thank you, Dane, have to thank everybody, in my community that has played, a vital part in this entire puzzle for me, because, it's just been a lot. I spent a lot of years figuring out exactly what it is that I was going to do, knowing that I had a lot of skills, but not being able to really find much purpose behind what I was going to do with those skills. Wow,
yeah, man. You're welcome. Thank you. And to God be the glory. I just do what I do, and I'm unapologetic about it. I don't really care what people have to say about me and what I do. I just move how I move and how I'm led to move by God and to do the right thing. So, I've just been enamored with how hard you work. But before I jump into that, you skated over this, but before jumping into community work, you said your full-time job was in casinos?
Correct.
What were you doing in the casino industry, man?
So, that's actually where Mr. Everything, I was kind of also known as Mr. Everything before that industry. The Mr. Everything role sort of came back, had come back in 2012 when I was working at Best Buy. And I was just a little computer salesman, turned Microsoft expert in like a month, and then, just continued to foster my social skills and being able to just, just talk to people from many different genders, races, nationality, like all of that. So that really helped me foster that part of my development. And then that took me to working in the movie theater industry, where I was actually working at a dining movie theater out in Westchester. Doing that gig, once again, really focusing on developing the social skills, my personableness, and just, what I had to offer to people because of my kindness, my ability to just unconditionally share their kindness at an unlimited capacity. And so that drove me into the casino industry. In the casino industry, I had done security for 9 months. So I was an overnight security guard. Picture that, right? Picture that, as small as I am. I was an overnight security guard. But had you known me there, once again, the title was, the world's happiest security guard. So I carried that kind of personality with me all throughout that opportunity, which then allowed me to be promoted. And I went over and I started working for Human Resources. And I had actually held a position that was called the Ambassador of First Impressions. So that really also set a tone for me. That set a realistic tone. It exposed me to a number of people coming in from different businesses, different areas, different backgrounds, and really pit me, in one of my biggest challenges, which was discovering what I had to offer the world. And, I was directly involved, in a lot of the in processing. Yeah, I was directly involved in a lot of the in processing procedures.
Okay.
And pretty much once again, my position was there to help and serve as a huge inspiration and motivation to give people the courage and the confidence to just dig deep within themselves, realize their greatness, and then bring it out and share their greatness with the world and use it for an interview. And so that job brought me, a great deal of appreciation and passion for what I had and what my gift was. And then through that, I received another promotion, which put me back in the casino on the floor, but it got me much more in-depth within casino operations. So I was working for a VIP department and doing VIP work with our, hiring clientele and things of that nature. So once again, still just, a position to help, redefine the idea of having social skills and being able to be available for someone and be able to accommodate people and just continue to take it to another level. And that was what I was doing at the time when I ended up resigning and then going full time with all of my community work and my photography.
That is dope. Now, listen, everybody that's listening, there was a major theme that Brandon was sharing pretty much with every job that he talked about. That major theme is developing himself inside of those jobs, making himself better in each and every one of those jobs. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of looking at these jobs and just figuring out a way to become better as a person, as an individual in that role, in those jobs, without looking at just the job itself? Because a lot of people, they hate their jobs. They can't stand their jobs. They dread waking up in the morning. They go crazy. Oh my gosh. I talk to people all day, every day, and some people just really hate their jobs. So how
and there truly are some bad,
Oh yeah.
There truly are some jobs out there that a lot of us would not be fit,
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
Physically to handle. But I still say that within a business, regardless of if it's yours or if it's owned by anyone else, you should always want to be the best version of yourself. I don't know why, as humans, we would desire to be anything less. I understand the difference between a work day and a chill day, but a chill day doesn't mean that Daniel Trowick as a person is now, 10 versions less or 10, has any less value than he has on Thursday when he's doing work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you're immensely valuable on Thursday, you should be just as valuable on your Sunday when you're taking off and your shoes are kicked off.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The only difference is your shoes are kicked off.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, I just identify, my role within a company, and then I identify my potential, and I apply my potential to the role that I was given. and my potential would always seem to just have me extending in as many areas as I possibly could, because everything that I wanted to do was always about helping people and helping others. And a lot of times in our roles and in our jobs, what I say is that you're never used for all of the skills that you have to offer. Now, while some people may think that that idea is just draining, some people need that in order to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know, you could pump gas every single day of your life, but you know, realistically at heart, you know, you're an amazing like canvas artist, and you really want to, you know, have your art streamlining in galleries, you know, in Europe, and that's your dream, and you know that you're capable of doing it, but because of just that little sprinkle of self-doubt that it takes to stop you from doing everything in life, because of that little sprinkle, you're just going to sit there and you're going to continue to hate your job and hate your situation and blame, you know, the fact that, you know, it's difficult to pull yourself out of situations and all. You know, we should always just want to be the best versions of ourselves. You know, if you work for a company now and you want to know what it's like to be an entrepreneur, you know, but you're not quite ready to leave your job, then just start working like an entrepreneur at your job. You know, start taking initiative, start running things. You know, you shouldn't have to feel like you shouldn't have to be given the title supervisor to be the person in the position that tells people what the appropriate and or right thing may be to do. And, you know, whether or not that's your business or not your job, that is all about approach and perspectives. Because I have definitely been in a position where I've told people the appropriate thing to do, and they've not taken it as just an authoritative gesture, as opposed to, all right, yeah, he's right, and he's trying to do the right thing, and he's the right person to listen to. Let's do it. Let's get it done. So it's all about approach and perspective.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, Brandon.
A lot, not things. Yeah.
I just want to ask this question real quick, because you said it earlier that, you know, you were younger and you can relate to the kids. Because you dropping a whole lot of wisdom and knowledge right now. Please tell me how old you are. Can you give me an age?
Oh, brother, man. You're going to make me put it all out there? Make me put my old age? I'm 23, brother. I'm only 23 years old.
23 years old. All this wisdom, all this knowledge that this young man has is unreal. Unreal. But go ahead. What were you saying, mate? What were you saying?
And I appreciate it, man. Like I said, every day, every time I'm reminded of that, you know, it only actually makes me want to work even harder and work even smarter, because it just tells me, well, hey, look, I've got it down right now. I wish I could have had it together when I was 18, you know. Wish I could have met you when I was 18, saying I've got it together. I'm changing the community. Let's do it now. So I appreciate that. But, yeah, man, it's like more people take initiative over your life. You know, that's what it is. It's just take that step. Take that step you want to see. You know, like I said, at every job, you know, no matter what your role is, if you're just a floor salesman, if you are the supervisor, if you're just the stocking person, you know, if you work in the back of the house, the front of the house, if you're the greeter, if you're the host, if you're the server, if you just come by, pick up the drinks, no matter what your role is, you can be phenomenal in that role, and you can outshine, like you can outshine your previous self every day.
Yes.
And you can make a difference in that role. You can make a difference in that role. You could be the kind of person that makes those impressions on people. So then somebody comes by and they offer you that $1 million opportunity that nobody else got, because they weren't willing to put 110, 120, 130, 140% of themselves into it.
Ooh.
And then that $1 million investment, that's not just an investment for today or for your dreams right now, but that's the investment for tomorrow. And you know, once you have that mentor that tells you how to use that money the right way, and how to form your business and your ideas, man. I mean, that's how it all connects. Man. It's like I want a lot of young people to understand that your social success will definitely bring you much more success than you seek, and it'll bring all the other forms of success your way as well. It definitely will. If you're a kind person, if you're kind, if you're genuine, you know, you have that authentic personality that just really sits well with everybody that you meet. What makes you think you're not going to meet the right person? What makes you think the right person isn't going to hear what you have to say if all you're saying are the right things? If all you're saying, if all you're speaking is truth, if
Yes.
all you're speaking is on faith.
Yes, that's definitely